Yo, what up guys, and on today's video I will be going over a Bitcoin move we're about to get created today because Bitcoin is squeezing its price action in towards an apex and it is about to move significantly. And as well, I will be talking about the chart that basically predicted the last two Bitcoin bull markets, and it is right now giving us another signal. A bull market for 2022 is just around the corner. So make sure to like this video, make sure to definitely watch this video till the end because this is indeed going to be a very interesting update video for you guys out there on this channel. So let's dive right away in towards the content and let's discuss with the 4-hourly time frame here on the market. So right now we can clearly see Bitcoin is squeezing its price action in once again towards an apex. We can clearly see downward sloping resistance getting created from the higher side. We've seen several rejections here on the higher side, and of course as well on these wicks here on the lower side, and we can clearly see this is going to be an important level of a breakout because as well the support has been very significant. We are basically squeezing support and resistance in towards an apex, and right now within 12 hours, within 8 hours I should say from now on, I am expecting to see a major breakout here on the market, and this is going to be really result in a lot of volatility on this market. So yes, I do think Bitcoin is going to create a lot of volatility here on the Sunday, and we're about to be moving big here. So of course a breakout through the upside is going to be resulting in a very bullish, significant follow through for Bitcoin. We will be aiming for targets around the $43,000, but of course in case we're going to get a breakdown, we're going to be aiming for targets around the 37.8k. So it is going to be definitely very important for Bitcoin to be breaking bullish, not break bearish over here, because yeah, it could have some very bearish consequences if we do break down from here on. Then as well, looking at this inverse head and shoulders pattern we could be basically looking at, because yes, Bitcoin has been creating an inverse head and shoulders over here on the market and already broke towards the upside basically. You can clearly see, of course, we had a small fake out over here. I will not take this in consideration, but you can see outside of that, we formed a very clear downward sloping resistance line with a lot of touch points and a lot of rejections, and we're forming a clear left shoulder and head and a right shoulder, of course. So this is of course very interesting to look at. The targets that I'm currently aiming for this breakout are also around that 42.2k and the 43.7k. Basically, these are also two very strong horizontal levels of previous resistance and support, and if we can break above it, this could be aiming and this could be resulting in a very significant movement towards the upside, of course. So yeah, it is actually looking very strong for Bitcoin right here, and I do definitely look forward towards where we are right now really heading towards. But this is of course already giving us a particular bullish signal on the market. 1 hour time frame nevertheless is not really that interesting. We are forming still this upper sloping support line. I mean, we could be approaching it from two different ways here. You can clearly see over here, upper sloping support line is getting formed there as well. We could aim on the 1 hour time frame as well for this downward sloping trend line from the higher side. And you can also clearly see on the 1 hour time frame, we are still trading in this symmetrical triangle, in this pennant, we can say. And yeah, this could be taking quite a while here before we're going to be breaking out on that 1 hour time frame. We just said earlier today on the early on today's update, that on the 4-hourly time frame we're expecting a breakout within 8 hours, and for this 1 hour time frame it could be maybe 16 hours. So yeah, what I'm at least expecting is that today is going to be a pretty significant volatile day here, and that is definitely a thing that we should be expecting right now here. There are probably going to be some massive moves getting created later in towards this Sunday. So pretty interesting if you would ask me. And as well, looking at this daily time frame channel, I've been really looking at this daily chart here for Bitcoin. And like we do know, we have been trading in this uptrend, right? We've been forming these higher lows and these higher highs along the way up here. Only the thing I'm really looking at is this downward sloping support line as well over here. I personally think there's still a very big possibility that Bitcoin is going to be moving down significantly, create a big wick on the lower side and come up again, because we've done this already 2 times before in this trend we're currently trading in. So if today potentially Bitcoin is going to be moving down, I do think we're going to once again create such kind of a wick here. I personally think there's a very high possibility Bitcoin is going to touch that $37,000 barrier and once again shoot up again and close its daily candle higher to flush out some long positions, to freak out some more people, because yeah, there is definitely a huge amount of fear in the market right now, and that is definitely reason why we can start to see this once again, because people are maybe potentially going to be panic selling their Bitcoin off due to seeing that here. As well, talking about fear, we do know we are currently having 28 on the fear and greed index on Bitcoin, and that is of course a particular heavy amount in terms of the fear and greed what we're currently trading at. If we're looking at this chart here of the fear and greed, we can clearly see we are sitting at the lower ranges, and always historically seeing if we're seeing on that below that 30 range, basically it has been historically been a good accumulation range. I am not saying Bitcoin has to be bouncing tomorrow or Bitcoin has to be bouncing today because we're trading on 30 on the fear and greed index. No, it's only a general overview about, okay, we're right now pretty much in fear on this market, and is this maybe a good time for some accumulation? And could the market really come up from off this region? Is it likely to accumulate Bitcoin over here and stay in a profit in 3 months from now on? I will be definitely give it a yes here, because the risk is most certainly lower for accumulating Bitcoin over here in this lower range than the higher range. So still, I don't get it. I still see a lot of people on Twitter as well really hating as well, and that is really also a bottom signal. There's so much people that are actually hating that you are buying more Bitcoin, but I think this whole region over here is a good range for accumulating Bitcoin. Just zoom out once in doubt, and it is definitely a very good range. And talking about a good range of accumulation, let me talk about this chart here, and make sure to really maybe pause the video, just take a look at this chart yourself, maybe screenshot it a little bit here, because this has been definitely a very important chart to discuss. And I mean, this is also one of my top charts. I mean, what you can see over here is basically the green line is the dollar index, the DXY here. It has been moving up very significantly last time around, and do note the orange line is the Bitcoin price section, how these are moving in similar ways to each other. So what we do know here, the start of bull run 2017 was basically while the dollar index was trading on 102 points here. It was trading on a very high valuation, and of course if the dollar is trading very high, the chance, like let's say you're putting a ball in the water. If you're going to be putting a ball in the water, it tends to be shooting up, right? And the deeper you're going to put that ball, the more harder that ball can be, once again come towards the upside. And that is exactly the same with the dollar index and Bitcoin. If the dollar index is going to keep pumping and pumping, and if we are historically looking to the dollar index, it has always been trading in a downtrend, we do know that the chances more significantly that it's going to move down. And if the dollar moves down here, the Bitcoin valuation moves up because Bitcoin is measured against the dollar. So you can see here in 2017, we basically topped out over here, and we came all the way down with the dollar index. And once we did reach that lower side of the box here, around the 88 points, we do know the Bitcoin bull market basically topped out here. That was our, basically bull market top signal. Then we moved up all the way again here, and then in 2020, we once again touched this red box here, this DXY resistance box here, and that once again indicated the bull run of 2020/2021 here. We moved down again with the dollar index, Bitcoin having a little bit of a harder time here. And then once again, we came down towards this green box on the lower side. And what did we do? We topped out here. Right now, we moved up so significantly, like crazy with the dollar index. And we're once again sitting at this red box. And is this once again our signal for the bull market 2022 to start? I will be definitely give it a big fat yes here. Of course. And you know what is really annoying me here? Not really annoying me, but you know what's really frustrating, I should say? I mean, I think this is a very good general overview for accumulation. I don't think Bitcoin is going to be set at new all-time highs tomorrow. I'm not saying that. I don't think that Bitcoin is going to set at new all-time highs next week. No, that's not likely to expect. But what we do know is that it is a very good range for accumulation for Bitcoin. I personally expect that in the coming 3 to 6 months here, Bitcoin is going to trade way higher than it's currently trading on, because we are getting these signals right here on this market. And on Twitter, everyone is expecting, oh, why are you so bullish right now? I only see the market moving down. But that's because people are always having that short-term view. And that is where you should become an active investor. If you want to be making profit on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, you have to be spotting the macro trends. You have to be seeing and expecting where we could be seeing a very big run up on the market. And right now we are seeing a possibility where there could be a very huge run up, and that could be making you a fortune of money. So that is why I'm currently buying. I am buying because out of anticipation of another run up. And we are, of course, getting more and more signals that the risk is most certainly decreasing, because that is what you're always looking for accumulating Bitcoin and accumulating these leverage positions. Lower the risk, higher reward is the perfect scenario you want to be having. And currently we're seeing an extreme low amount of risk we are currently taking for a potential very high reward for Bitcoin, and that is why I am accumulating more and more. And that is also, this chart is just a beautiful chart as indication for that. That is well, looking at the daily time frame here, and go back in towards the imminent short term a little bit here, because yeah, daily time frame is definitely a little bit more short term view. And that was basically the weekly time frame where we're currently looking at the DXY. So that chart could take a little bit more time before it's really going to be bouncing. But here on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we can also see a pretty interesting structure, right? We're seeing an inverse head and shoulders, typical bullish bias reversal pattern getting formed, and together with this downward sloping trend line here. This downward sloping trend line really got tested so many times already before, and you can see really all these red dots are all these touch points were generated on this level, and we're once again retesting it perfectly as support. And we're currently really consolidating, making ourselves ready for a potential move, either the up or downside. But there's one thing sure, there is going to be a big move getting created for Bitcoin. So it's going to be up or down, that's going to be the question. But definitely this is an important level of support we're probably going to hold on towards. If we're going to retest it, we'll be definitely looking to accumulate some more in towards my positions. But yeah, 38.4k is going to be the strong support of this this downward sloping support range. Then on the weekly time frame, looking at Bitcoin, it is very, very interesting, of course, what we can currently see. And do note here about how the weekly time frame has been trading, always in an uptrend. And basically how I am approaching that weekly time frame is that Bitcoin, and let me put it on a logarithmic scale here, Bitcoin has been consolidating basically for the past few weeks here. And you know what's very interesting? People say, oh, this is no consolidation or whatsoever. This is consolidation. Bitcoin has just traded sideways for 50 months, and we have to accept that. And we're just waiting for that massive move again, because we have not spotted that massive move for a very long time already. Because yeah, this run up in October was not a massive move. It was just a minor run up in the market, just like 2019, right? We have to be seeing this same exponential movement here. Basically, just note about how this market, if you did bought the lows here, moved up more than 1600%, and right now the market came down from its high towards its low more than approximately 40%. People are already freaking out, but do know there was a 1700% gain here on only a period of 380 days here. So that is absolutely crazy. And right now, we're basically once again looking for those same opportunities across this market. There's a very big possibility that we're going to be making very huge gains here after such a long time period of consolidation. But basically what I want to be saying here is that I don't think that Bitcoin is bad for accumulating if we're going to really zoom out and if we're really going to look at that on-chain data. Because on-chain data is right now suggesting a lot of things here. So let me first go over this chart and let me quickly address this. The supply that has been not touching their Bitcoins that is older than 1+ year is reaching a new all-time high. This is already a very big buy signal for the Bitcoin. For Bitcoin basically, because every single time we basically set at that new all-time high, it was historically seeing the beginning of the next run up towards the upside. And look at how many 1+ year holders were already having 63.7%, and it is increasing exponentially. It is crazy. And also do note about how we are currently nosediving in the Bitcoin that is held on exchanges, and that is crazy. This is also suggesting a lot of accumulation. And talking about nosediving, look at this recent drop-off we're currently getting over here. Everyone is taking off their Bitcoin from exchanges. People are accumulating it and getting it off there. So of course the availability for Bitcoin is also decreasing massively, and this is basically the chart that is basically telling us about how many net position changes is on the Bitcoin exchanges balance. So what we can currently see is that there's a massive amount of outflows getting created here. Usually you are seeing these massive amounts of outflows getting created in periods where people are accumulating, where big players are accumulating. And what are we currently seeing? We're seeing a massive amount of accumulation happening once we're in that green zone. So once people are distributing, people are sending their Bitcoin from cold storage to wallets on exchanges, hot wallets, we usually tend to see the price actually decrease, like you can see in this big green spike over there, like you can see in this big green spike over here and here. We come down further, but right now we're seeing a massive amount of course, outflows, and really suggesting we're going to get another run-up, because just look at all the previous outflows. It always has been following by a huge movement towards the upside, because there's a less and less Bitcoin available, and you know it, demand slash supply divided by supply is just going to be the availability for Bitcoin, and the availability is decreasing massively. It's a huge opportunity we're currently looking at. And I mean, these videos are getting longer and longer every single day nowadays, but there's just so many important things to discuss, so I have to be going over it. You can see as well, funding rates are still negative. Not very interesting to talk about right now here. There's not a massive amount of development over there. But also in terms of my trade. So I just explained to you guys on today's update video about how I'm currently thinking about that wider view on Bitcoin. And do I really think we're going to come up? Do I really think Bitcoin is going to come down for the coming 6 to 12 months here? No, I don't really think it comes down here. And I really think we are going to get that bounce. Just look at the accumulation. Just look at the long-term holders stepping in towards the market. Just look at the DXY chart. Just look at the daily time frame chart. Just look at the, about every single chart we're currently seeing. So what am I doing? What is my strategy over here? Am I going to short this market? Am I going to trade it down? No. I'm accumulating more. And I'm buying more on spot every single day. And I'm buying more on leverage every single day. So what I'm currently doing here is that I got a 4.66 leverage set up here on Bybit. If you do want to be trading on Bybit, check out the link in the description. And of course, if you do use the link in the description, you will be getting a $4,800 deposit bonus. But yeah, more importantly, I accumulated this position. I'm going to ride it towards the upside. I have literally no doubt about that this is a good trading opportunity. And I've literally got no doubt about where this potential trade is going towards. Like I told you, if Bitcoin is going to fake out towards the 37K, I'm okay with it because I'm going to accumulate more towards my position if Bitcoin comes down towards that $33,000 barrier, right? The $34,000 barrier. If Bitcoin is going to come down, I will be massively at another $50,000 in this trading position. So I will be average down my entry price, and so we will be even try to ride this trade further onwards. So yeah, I definitely think there's a huge opportunity here across this trade here. I think it's a huge opportunity for everyone out there who is interested in swing trading. Swing trading is the best time. The best time to swing trade is once everyone is panicking, once everyone is in fear, once everyone is expecting the market is going to come down, once the market does look the least strong here, it usually tends to be the best ranges for a swing trade. As well, especially once the funding rates are negative, it's also a very good time for swing trading. Like we do know, just look at the funding rates. If we're going to really compare it towards previous times here, unfortunately, I can't look back to September because that data is not available right now. But yeah, we can see always once the funding rates are negative, it usually tends to show you a very good range of accumulation. And usually the markets tend to be bouncing back up from all those regions. So yes, I am very happy with accumulating my positions over here. Funding is negative here. People are shorting the market, and I'm not going to lean with the most popular opinion right now in this market. So yes, I am buying more every single day. I don't care if Bitcoin is going to come down to 36K because I do know Bitcoin is going to come up again. I'm here for the long game, and that's why I'm accumulating every single piece of Bitcoin I possibly can right now with all the money I've got available. Find a job maybe, find an extra job, go work. Maybe 2 times as more at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's once, like 5-6 years ago. I worked at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's approximately 40 hours a week, and I was going to school at that time. And what did I do? I accumulate more and more Bitcoin. And right now, I literally achieved financial freedom due to working hard in the right periods. And I do think that this is once again a period where we should work a little bit harder and we could be making a ton of money, of course, in the near future. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be careful with altcoins. Of course, make it a virtualized portfolio, but be careful with altcoins. Bitcoin and Ethereum are definitely your biggest holds in your portfolio. And I can tell you, I've learned it the hard way, but please do know that. Thank you so much for watching. It was a very long video, 18 minutes, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.